Hey, people. When I was researching Isaac back in Genesis 17 and how he got his name, wits check, I ran into this word that I'd recognize, MQNT, from Punt. And I used to hear it from what you would call uneducated people. Hey, you got that $100 I funt you last year? Funt is where your word fund come from, and it's like a loan, and it's past tense. The T gives it a past tense. The fund, what I funt you, and it's given the meaning who is bought for. And I know the other words with the meaning of who sold it and who buys it. You know, they really got the meanings twisted. And so I want to read this. It's just 9 lines, and it's called Instructions for the Passover. And it warns you about removing your history. And what it says, who homer, who yammer, who command you, least. And so if you haven't been with me before, everything that comes after this tack, I'm going to read it backwards and forwards. So this is ESMSE. And everything it ends with an M, a final M, I'm going to pronounce it as a S. And this is the only place that I see it, down here at 51 in Axis, BOXS, OXM in Axis. And in this word they call Egypt, from its rise. It just comes up in this last line. So what it says is, who command you, leash, must warn. Who command you? Who's under your leash? Under your leash? Who's under your control? Your LAESH, leash. Must, MSE, must warn. It's your job to warn the people under you. Zat heft, HFT, the THFT, the theft, the pass. This is the pass, not Passover, just the pass. As in somebody died, they passed. Or if you find a valley, through a mountain range, it's called a pass. And it means to go through, the passing. And so, must warn, the theft, the pass call. And so the pass call is like, as in recall, a call. If you want to call out, a group, a call, you would call to them, hey, everybody with a gun, step forward, and you would call out all your gunners. Everybody with a knife, step forward. You call out your knife. So call and call, they kind of come from the same word. And so the pass call is what you recall from the past, your history. The pass call. Nabbing, rockin', crawler like a jackal into. Nabba, steal, a nabber that takes. The rockin' crawl. The rockin' crawl is your borders. You have a rock set up on all the borders, a big heavy rock. This is your property. The rockin' crawl. It means that, you go out there and rock it. You move that rock just an inch every year, and after 1,000 years you own all of Israel. The rock and crawl like a jackal into. So they say this is, make a call. And a call isn't necessarily to eat. A call is to separate out what you're going to eat, what you're going to take, whatever you're going to do with it. Sometimes you cull things. You might be culling wool for your sweater, but it doesn't mean eat. But this is backwards and forwards. LKA, like a JAKL, jackal, like a jackal in two. And then this is the one here. To clad, to give, bind, through. To clad, KLD is to, your armor, your outside armor. To clad, and then the B is in Ovid. Ovid is sheep. They call them servants, and that's what they call you. You're all sheep, To clad in Ovid, to dress like a sheep. And then anything starts with the A, I'm reading it backwards. SIA, to see. To see from font. And then pass cusp. They say cusp is money, but a cusp is two intersecting arcs, like the point of your knife. And the pass cusp, would be to pass them around. To pass cusp and mallet. Well, that gives it a whole different meaning there. To pass cusp and mallet, what as a WTAZA, what as a jackal in two. And so a cusp and mallet looks like that. That's a mallet. And that's a cusp. A cusp is intersecting arcs. Anytime the moon's not full, you're usually looking at cusp. Cusp and mallet. And it's telling you don't forget your history, the past call. Don't. There's a theft. You got to warn, to command you. The leash must warn that theft, to the theft of the past call. Nabbing, stealing, nabbing, rockin', crawl, KRLA, like a jackal in two. Clad in Obid, to dress like a sheep, see from front. To pass cusp and mallet, what as a jackal in two. And he's warning you, don't let them commies. That's what that is. This is the worldwide symbol for communism. So this is invite here. You see it look like a BB, but the second B doesn't have the dot in it. And if you put up here, you see how it, how they say it's B-va-yit, and it's E-B-N-V-I-T. Invite. And Tao isn't one. This was the first day, and it possibly means first. Invited. Ho. The first jackal. Low. Beware. Low doesn't mean no. It means you're low on fuel. Beware. You're low on brake fluid. Beware. Low. And Ajax. What Tootsie. This is backwards and forwards. AJX. And so Ajax, he was known for not going to war. He would always stay back on the boat, and his job was recon. He was always sent to go get something back that was left. Go pick up this dead body. Go pick up this weapon. Ajax stayed on the boat. His job was recon. Beware, Ajax Tootsie, his foot. Don't let him get the foot in the door. Invite to first jackal, beware of Ajax foot, the recon foot. The men tie in habit. The manners be butcher house. They got the manners of the butcher house. The manners of the butcher house. To access, AXS. To access, that's how the fire department accesses your house, as they axe the door. To access, same word. To access, let's, LATS. To let's brew, to view. Once he gets his foot in the door, and the access lets the brew. You know what a brew is? A brew is a covey of witches, the brew. You know, it's the Hebrew is ye the brew. Let's the brew to view. Vav connected to, and then VU to view. Let's the brew to view. Don't let Recon get his foot in the door and see what's going on over there. To access, beware. To access, let's brew to view. The cullet do audit. That's where your word cult come from. The cult is the cullet. Their job is to cullet and do audit. They come in and do an audit, see what all is there. His rule, and this is where your word G.I. Joes come from. J-O-S. Joes is a word, means, you know, the ones who shall keep his rule. They're the ones who's following the orders. But it's to make as to what to. They're going to go in there and check out and see as to what to. What to you got over there. The cult do audit. His role, Joe's to what to. To make as to what to. And then here's wiki. You reckon wiki means know it all? This is to Kai, K-I. To Kai, and then backwards, R-U. To Cairo, and then G-I-G, the gig wear. To Cairo, the gig wear. Gig is like a one-night job. You know, you got a gig, you're not on the clock, you're going to do a gig, get this job done and move on. To Cairo, gig wear. Kata, K-T-A, give to. And it means to give credits to give according to. You see this in all your Gospels. The Gospel, Kata, John. The Gospel, Kata, Matthew, according to. Give credits to. To Cairo, a gig where Kata, to give credit to. So according to grouse, pass of you, the mule of to, bind to, the clerk's car, was if foreign, lost to, way. So a grouse is to grumble. You see a grouse is a bird, but it also is a grumbling, a petty grumbling. And then down in Australia, they're real good about keeping the language, and it means very good. And so that gives me a good idea that it means to grumble, because they say, you know, a grumbling sailor is a happy sailor. A petty grumbling, they like to bitch about, but they're happy where they are. And so to the Cairo gig, where according to the grumbling past of you, the mule, that's somebody who's pulling the rickshaw. You know, the mule, bind to, L, bind, Vav, connected. The bind connected. The bind to the clerk's car. Pulling the clerk's car around was a foreign, lost to, way, vey, to look over, the lost to vey. 'Cause rich hears. To color oral, beware, like a jackal into. To color oral, to color the speech, the oral. To color oral, beware, like a jackal into. And so it's teasing this boo and this jackal. I'd see it several different ways. Sometimes it comes, you know, after the attack, sometimes without it. So sometimes it's like a jackal, and sometimes it's the jackal. And sometimes it's into, and sometimes it's of to. Sometimes it's connected into. It changes up. And this color oral, that's the proper way. Somebody proper would say, he was cussing. Well, he had colorful speech. His speech is very colorful. Or to make foreign was to make foreign. Excuse my French, when you're cussing. So the grouse, the grumbling, the pass of you, the mule buying to the clerk's car, was to make foreign. Who is speaking a foreign language there? Was lost away, because rich hears. The rich hears is that's what makes people grumble, is they thinking that, boy, everybody else is getting rich. Them damn senators, boy, they getting $58,000 for this damn COVID. All I'm getting is $600. And excuse my French and my colorful speech there, my color oral. The load beware like a jackal in two, and that's what's going on today. They're trying to get everybody turned. It's the damn commies trying to take over America. And the Hebrew Bible explains all about it, exactly how they're doing it. Everything in the book tells about what they're doing today. And if people would just get off of their silly beliefs that the Hebrew rabbis can read this, because they can't. And I've been doing this for a while, and I haven't had one stand up and say, but no, I can read this. They can't read it. They let you think they can, but they can't. And the people who got to America first, they were carrying this Bible, and that's where I hear all this language, is the old timers. King James didn't get here till after 1611. It was first printed. And then this word for the law here, this Torah, T-U-R-E, and this law is in tour. You go on tour. Put your badge on and go on tour around the city. You're the law. And to wear life. This is the same word as nature, N-A-T-U-R-E. N-A, no tour. No tour. You don't tour out there in nature. You tour in the city. To wear life. To wear they, T-H-A-Y-I, to where they eye laser. Boom. Boom. To where they eye laser. That's what's going on today. They hooking you up with the laser eye. And this laser, L-A-Z-R-H, and L of power, A of power, L-A of power, Z to cut, R, the first divide. Power to cut, first divide. You got to have a laser. That's how they cut all them rocks. They had a laser back then. To where they eye laser, will gear, W-L-G-R, will gear eager and took us. The tour, you go on tour, and where they eye laser, will gear eager took us. Eager's ready to go. Will gear, all the gear that you're toting in your backpack. Will the gear eager in took us. B-T-U-K-K, final M is a S, in took us. Eager in took us. And so this word V-I-O-S, and here it's followed by another Vav, Vios. I used to say Vios means to see. Vios, to make the eye consume. But here you can see it's to J-O-S, to Joe's to. And so it's not just to see to, but that's somebody appointed to the job. Hey, see to this gets done. Vios to. See to. See to. Call in Bing. To call in a Bing is a mark of time. Oh, Big Ben. Bing. To call in time his rule. Kaiser Zu. Kaiser is a controller with all power, is a Kaiser. as in communism. Kaiser Zhu. Zhu is the commander, the Chinese commander that wrote The Art of War. Kaiser Zhu, the all-powerful command. You to this most what? Nero. Nero was a Kaiser. He was all-powerful. Nero, the rank in as two. De Nero, the rank in as two. And so Nero and narrow is probably where Nero got his name, because he was narrow, the RNKN, the rank in as two. And it came to pass. This is what they give this word in Genesis 1, when God just said, and it happened. But the word is wage. W-I-E-J. Wage, or W-Y-E-J, the wage. And it's how they get by. Everybody's got a job, their wage. And the wage in axes, N-O-X-S, in axes, they use E-Y-U-S. They, in wage and axes, they use these, E-Z-E. They use these. Evicts, E-V-X-ya, evicts ya, to kick you out. The wage and axes, they use these, evicts ya. And they always say, I am the God that brought you out of Egypt. This is the word, evicts you, to kick you out. To evict you. They use these to evict you. You too in Bing, in time his rule, march, M-A-R-X. You know, A-R-X, the Latins pronounce that C-H, the march. The march, mit's rise, from its rise. M-I-T, mit is ancient English for with. You know, from with its rise. All metavax vats. All metavax, M-T-A-V-X, in ats. All metavax in ats. Medevac is a evacuation of military or other casualties to the hospital. Helicopter or airplane, the medevac. But this is all metavax, M-T-A-V-X. Meta means to change from within, or from within. Meta, like metamorphosis is what a caterpillar does, to change to a butterfly. And so morphos means to change, and meta means from within. Meta, from within, VX. From within the vax, vats, backwards and forwards, V-A-T-S. And I can't tell you what a vax is, because they take my channel down again for 2 weeks this time. But we can look at a vat. You just have to guess what vax means. But a vat is a large tank or tub used to hold a liquid, especially in industry. Or vat is something that's water insoluble and must be put in a reducing bath to convert it to a soluble form. From within the vats, to take the insoluble to a reducing form. Two in Bing, two in the mark of time his rule, march from its rise, all from within vax, vats. So this word that I started with from Punt here is to clad in Ovid, you know, to dress in the sheep's clothes, to see from front past cusp. And so it's kind of like from front, from front, and but funt. To see from front, they funding to pass the cusp and the mallet. So it's starting to lead you to believe that they're passing the money. Hey, this is good, passing the money. But also the mallet, to pass the cusp and mallet. What as a jackal in two. So this word comes from the Phoenicians. If you were a Phoenician, you were a funt. And they've been trying to destroy the history of Phoenicia. It's all mixed up, and they're just now digging new stuff up. But you see the Greek spelled it with the Q and the PH, funt. And you see here it's the put here, the put or foot. And they trying to say that they come from around here. But, best chances are this is the foot and this is the punt. When you punt the ball, it's exactly what we're looking at, somebody's foot and they're punting. And I would bet that this is where the Phoenicians come from. The original Romans now changed their name and trying to hide the history. And I'm sure that they reached out, and that's where your word funding come from, and the Egyptians dealt with them forever because they had all the riches. They were open sea travelers. The funts, the punts, the foot and the ball. And like I said before, they said their big money came out of this Tyranium purple, and it came out of a clam, and this clam used this as a sedative. He would spray it underwater. Not a clam, but it was like a big snail, a conch with points all over, and he really couldn't move real fast, but he would spray this sedative under the water and sedate a fish so he could get a hold of it. So it's got to be a really powerful sedative in order to sedate a fish underwater. And that's where they were making their money. And it wasn't so much the color of it, but it was the medical effects of it they were selling. They were selling drugs. And that's why the arch and the drugs, RX, is all the same word. Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.